I'd be glad to do the whole thing.
That's great, because we have a sense of continuity there. We have your situation, we're a little familiar with it.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yes. Number one.
I am hurt by her because she was disrespectful. See, I have more than one. Should I keep going or should I just stop there?
Yes, go ahead, just read them
Okay,
all.
In this situation, I am hurt by her because she was disrespectful by calling me by my first name and raising her voice.
Okay, so I love this. So there's two things about the number one is one, you've got your situation. In your situation is where she called you a name or called you by name.
She called me by my first name instead of mom.
Okay,
Yeah.
instead of mom. Oh my goodness. And raised her voice. So that's your situation. So a lot of what you might think you need to explain in this worksheet doesn't need to be explained, partly because it's part of your situation. Okay. Or because nobody else really needs to know except you. This is your work and you know. However, so that's one thing you can do with that. But the other thing is if these are the crux of what hurt, then take out the word by and make them into what we call one-liner. It's like where the mind is giving you a statement of fact or an observation of what happened. She called me by name. What was the second one? And I usually write them down.
Raised her voice.
She raised her voice. So you would have three then. So you want to read them without the by as three statements?
Okay, so she was disrespectful. She called me by my first name and she raised her voice. Not Anne, but she raised her voice.
Beautiful. So even though we might question, she called you by your first name, is it true? It is like, yes, it's true. But the reason why you're upset about it, is ultimately, and that means she was being disrespectful or she doesn't really honor me. So you got it. You're there. You caught what's under it. And yet I love that the calling you by your first name is a behavior that triggered you. So everybody just look at your worksheet and think about this is a skill. And it's what helped my mind get so quiet. All those years of journaling. People on my team know I can write a lot fast. And no, it's like, oh, camera on me. What was I thinking and believing in that situation? Get out of her business. And you're like, oh, well, I'm upset because because this. So it's just like right then and there, you start to quiet. There is actually research that shows that the heart rate goes down when you become the observer of the thinking instead of the believer of the thinking. However, when you're doing these worksheets, it's really great to be the believer. They're just like, get your emotions up and go ahead and feel it and honor everything. This is a safe place. You've probably been censoring yourself with her. This is where you can put it all. So number two.
I want her to see that her actions were hurtful. Do you want me to break this one up too?
Yes.
Okay. I want her to see that her actions were hurtful. And I want her to see her actions were not conducive to communication.
Beautiful. Okay, 3.
Can I ask how old her daughter is?
She's 30.
You know what? Actually, we're not gonna right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sorry. Thank you. And I did tell everybody to jump in, but for right now, she's in a deep process. And once we start the work with somebody, whether it's the reading of their worksheet or anything, we try to stick, really with the script. It's a really different way of being in the world. And yet it's really respectful to each other. At retreats here, we have so much participation where everybody gets big ahas, or they even chime in and help the person with their turnarounds. But only we wait and we ask the person, and kind of when we get to a stopping place, she would say, would you mind if I ask you a question about your daughter? And it would be up to you, Marlene, to say, yes, that's okay with me, or no, I want to just stay in my own process here. So thank you. And those kind of details may or may not be relevant. And if your partner work with her, you don't need to know those details in order to facilitate her. You're the holder of the questions. You start to trust that she has what she needs to do the work. And not to say that it's not interesting information, or you guys might become best friends and have daughters the same age. But right now, yeah, thank you. I'm so glad that happened so that I could help, because that's part of the processes that we learn that make us be super respectful in other conversations with people, where we would just say, would you mind if I share with you what's going on with me, or, getting permission rather than just jumping in and telling people what you think. And so, yeah. It's sort of a safer way of being in the world where you'll get less reactivity from people. So, okay, and we're going to just barrel through the rest. So go ahead.
Are we on, I don't remember, are we on 3?
Number 3, yeah.
Okay. She should see her anger as a roadblock to resolving the problem.
Beautiful. And without jumping to turnarounds, I'm going to show you how in some ways that will work. As I should see my anger as a roadblock, and you may have to figure that out. What is your anger? It might not be apparent to you, especially if you're, whether it's your anger at yourself, or so you've got to turn around to the self, my anger at myself, turn around to the other, my anger at her. And she shouldn't see, not unless she does. So that's not the one we're working today, but just to give you guys an idea how this worksheet turned around lets her show up however she is. She'll see it when she sees it. You're not in charge of what she sees and doesn't. So it's, when we believe that stuff, it's a dead end street, and it tells us I won't be okay till she sees that. Then it's like, wait, what? I see my anger at her. I see my anger at myself. You've already talked about being a person who turns and beats yourself up. So it's huge. As you start cleaning that side, you won't even really care what she's doing as much. You'll just be having so much fun over here, and she'll be having her journey too. So go ahead. Number 4.
I need her to realize that her anger was frightening and caused me to shut down.
Beautiful. Yeah, and that will be an amazing turnaround too. At some point, where is your anger, even if it's kind of underground or passive aggressive, frightening to people? So on number 4, then, I want us all to keep the one that you got earlier, which helped you find your situation. We're actually going to use that as our word. We're going to go rather quickly through the rest. But so your one-liner then is, I need her to apologize to me. Or I need her to acknowledge. She should.
I stayed with the apologize.
Okay. I need her to, and was it a should or a need?
A need.
Okay. That's great. I need her to apologize to me. That's also going to be on your number 4 then. That's the one everybody's going to work with me. Okay. Your description of her, number 5. She is selfish and uncaring. Beautiful. Can you go off a little more on her? We want some go for it.
Oh gosh, that was hard to even write those.
I know it's hard to say those things about our kids, but when you really think about how you feel, it's really important. Sometimes we think, oh, we have to love our kids no matter what, but sometimes we don't like them. She's being a selfish, spoiled brat. This isn't fair. She's self-absorbed. She's you got uncaring. What else do you have? Any
quick-tempered.
Yeah. You don't have to be nice.
Mean.
Yeah, really. That is so good, because I always ask everybody, try to get at least a couple 4-year-old words.
Yeah.
These big words have us at arm length, quick temper. She's fucking mean. No, sorry. I said sorry. 4-year-olds might not say that, but if that comes out, for me, it's crazy. Every one of my number 5s always includes stupid. And I don't have the word stupid in my vocabulary now, but somehow when I do those, I'm like, she's stupid, mean, bad, wrong. Get down to that part of you that just does have judgments.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's really good for me because I do try very hard to not be judgmental of anybody.
We're never going to get down to neutralizing the judgment, which is survival wiring, but we really can set ourselves free of it. Yeah, your limbic brain is going to give you those judgments, but your frontal cortex can come in 10 seconds later and help you see a different way. However, your prefrontal cortex is also the part of that's believing your stories. So that's where we're taking care of that part. You'll still have the knee-jerk amygdala reactions, the reptilian brain, but you can very quickly then go, oh, wait, let me look at this. What am I believing? Oh, it's my belief that's triggering me, not anything she's doing. My belief that something really bad and scary is happening. So, all right. What was yours on a number 6?
I don't ever want her to yell at me again and to feel that fear again, or the hurt of the disrespect.
Yeah, beautiful. So a little tip for everybody, if you've got any ands in there, strike them and make each one a separate. So I don't ever want to feel I don't ever want her to yell at me again, period. I don't ever want to feel, what was the second one? So hurt again?
Yeah, and feel that fear again. So there's actually 3 of them.
Yep, there's 3. Take out that second and good catch.
The fear.
Don't ever want to feel that fear again. That's acknowledging, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And
the hurt of disrespect.
You guys know sometimes like just a text message will show up and you can have a wave of fear over you. So to acknowledge that, oh my goodness, look at that thing happened to me. It's survival almost, and it's scary. So we want to acknowledge, okay, those parts of us that are like, oh, and no, I'm willing to feel that fear again because it may happen. For now, at least that's the way I'm wired until I've kind of dismantled some of the thinking that's causing the fear. So we want to, instead of going through life like, oh, no, that thing could happen and I won't be able to handle it. You're like, all right, yeah, it may show up. I'm willing. It's going to be my teacher and I look forward to. So here's what we're going to do. Thank you.